Throughout history, certain figures have been celebrated with tales that often overshadow the complex realities of their lives. This video aims to dissect 10 widely held myths about famous historical personalities, revealing the truths that have been obscured over time. By examining these misconceptions, we gain a more nuanced understanding of history. If you're interested in uncovering the facts behind the legends, consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful content. Number 10. Christopher Columbus. Columbus didn't discover America. Indigenous peoples inhabited the continent for millennia, and Norse explorer Leif Erikson reached North America around 1000 CE as shown by archaeological finds at Lonso Meadows. Columbus landed in the Caribbean in 1492, believing it was Asia due to flawed calculations underestimating Earth's size. Educated Europeans already accepted the Earth was round based on Greek knowledge. Debunking claims he proved this. His logs and Bartolomé de las Casas accounts detail his role in colonizing Hispaniola, enslaving Taino people, and causing thousands of deaths through disease and violence. His navigational skills stood out, but reliance on outdated maps led to errors. Columbus governed harshly, with reports of cruelty sparking his arrest by Spanish authorities in 1500. Modern focus highlights his part in colonial exploitation, not heroic exploration. This reevaluation connects to Cleopatra's story, where propaganda also shaped a leader's image. Number 9. Cleopatra. Cleopatra VII wasn't just a seductress. Roman sources like Plutarch portrayed her as manipulating Julius Caesar and Mark Antony with charm, but coins and busts suggest a strong jaw and hooked nose, pointing to charisma over beauty. As Egypt's last Ptolemaic ruler, she spoke 9 languages, including Egyptian, unlike her predecessors. Her alliances with Caesar and Antony secured Egypt's stability, providing military and economic support against Rome's expansion. Roman propaganda favoring Octavian after defeating her at Actium in 31 BCE exaggerated her decadence. Egyptian papyri show her administrative skill, funding temples and trade. She ruled for over 20 years, navigating a declining Hellenistic world. Hollywood's image, like Elizabeth Taylor's, oversimplifies her as a temptress, but scholars emphasize her diplomacy. Like Columbus, her legacy battles biased narratives. This leads to George Washington, whose myth of honesty also stems from later storytelling. Number 8. George Washington. Washington didn't chop down a cherry tree or confess to never lying. Biographer Mason Weems invented this tale in 1800 to boost book sales, with no evidence in Washington's records. As Continental Army commander, he led key Revolutionary War efforts, but Yorktown's 1781 victory relied on French allies like Lafayette and generals like Nathaniel Greene. His early career saw defeats, like surrendering Fort Necessity in 1754. Diaries reveal a pragmatic slaveholder managing Mount Vernon strictly, even chasing runaways. His teeth, not wooden, used ivory and likely slave teeth per dental records. Washington's discipline shone in refusing power after the war, cementing his legacy. Historians note his ambition, not sainthood, through letters. Like Cleopatra's, his image faces scrutiny for embellishment. Marie Antoinette's story follows, where another fabricated quote distorts a leader's role during crisis. Number 7. Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette never said, "Let them eat cake." The phrase, tied to her in revolutionary propaganda, appeared earlier in Rousseau's 1782 Confessions. France's debt came from Louis XV's wars, not her spending, though her wardrobe fit Versailles' lavish standards. Letters show her funding charities and cutting court costs during famines. As an Austrian, she became a scapegoat for France's woes, with pamphlets falsely accusing her of treason. Her 1793 trial records highlight her dignity, apologizing to her executioner. Financial logs prove she didn't bankrupt France, contrary to revolutionary claims. Historians portray her as politically naive, trapped by court rules. Pop culture paints her as callous, but diaries reveal her efforts to adapt. Like Washington's, her myth grew from fiction. Albert Einstein's story next shows how genius, like royalty, gets exaggerated by simplified tales. Number 6. Albert Einstein. Einstein didn't create relativity alone or fail at math. His 1905 special relativity built on Lorentz and Maxwell's work, and general relativity involved Marcel Grossman's mathematical aid. School records confirm he mastered calculus by 15. The lone genius myth ignores colleagues, including possible input from his wife, Mileva Maric. Einstein rejected quantum mechanics implications, spending years on a failed unified field theory. His 1921 Nobel Prize honored the photoelectric effect, not relativity. Letters show him advocating for civil rights, units, not isolated. Mathematicians like Hilbert refined his 1915 equations. Pop culture's wild-haired icon overshadows his community reliance. Like Antoinette, his story battles distortion. Robin Hood's tale follows, where folklore, not facts, crafts a hero's image, much like Einstein's genius narrative. Number 5. Robin Hood. Robin Hood wasn't a noble giving to the poor. Medieval ballads, like A Jest of Robin Hood from 1450, depict a yeoman thief fighting corrupt officials, not redistributing wealth. No records pinpoint a 12th century Robin, though similar names appear in minor legal files. The charity angle emerged in 16th century tales amid class tensions. Earlier stories show him aiding knights, not peasants. Sherwood Forest and the Merry Men are literary creations loosely tied to Nottingham's geography. Historians like Maurice Keene see him as a symbol of resistance, not altruism. Media, from Errol Flynn to Disney, cements a false hero. Like Einstein's myth, Robin's grows from later editions. Joan of Arc's story next reveals how faith and war blend into legend, much like Robin's outlaw tales. Number 4. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc didn't save France alone. In 1429, she inspired troops to lift Orleans' siege, but commanders like Dunois led the battles. Trial records detail her visions, possibly tied to medieval mysticism, not divine miracles. She carried a banner, not weapons, boosting morale. Captured in 1430, she faced execution for heresy, partly for wearing men's clothes. Her 1456 rehabilitation and 1920 canonization fueled her legend, but English accounts called her a witch. Letters prove she wasn't illiterate. Historians note her as a propaganda tool for Charles VII, not a solo hero. Her courage stands out, yet victories needed others. Like Robin Hood's, her story blends fact and symbol. Nero's tale follows, where bias, like Joan's sainthood, shapes a ruler's image. Number 3. Nero. Nero didn't fiddle during Rome's 64 CE fire. The instrument didn't exist, and Tacitus places him in Antium, not Rome. At the fire's start, he funded relief, opening palaces to survivors. Claims of burning Christians as torches, per Tacitus, reflect limited persecution, not policy. Nero's extravagance, like the Domus Aurea and murders, including his mother's, were real but typical of Roman politics. Coins and inscriptions show plebs liked his games and tax cuts. His 68 CE fall came from elite revolts, not public hate. Historians argue his theatricality offended senators, not proving madness. Fire-damaged artifacts confirm practical rebuilding. Like Joan's, his villainy stems from biased records. Pocahontas' story next shows how colonial tales like Nero's twist motives into myth. Number 2. Pocahontas. Pocahontas didn't save John Smith from love. His 1624 claim of her 1607 rescue lacks Powhatan or early English support. At 10 to 12, she wasn't romantic. Scholars suggest Smith misread a ritual. Captured in 1613, she converted, married John Rolfe in 1614, securing peace. Her 1616 England trip made her a spectacle, but she died in 1617 at 21, likely from disease. Powhatan traditions call her a diplomat, not savior. Disney's film ignores her captivity. Jamestown digs reveal tense Powhatan English ties, not harmony. Like Nero's, her story suffers from outsider's spin. Shakespeare's myth closes, where genius, like Pocahontas' heroism, faces collaborative reality. Number 1. William Shakespeare. Shakespeare didn't write alone. Plays like Henry VI show collaboration with George Peele per text analysis. Elizabethan theater relied on actors and scribes shaping scripts. The First Folio credits him, but rivals like Robert Greene scorned him in 1592. Anti-Stratfordian claims of others writing his work lack proof. His Stratford education and theater ties suffice. Legal records show wealth from theater shares, not just plays. Flops like Timon of Athens counter flawless genius myths. He adapted Holinshed's Chronicles, not inventing all tales. Digital studies confirm his style, but show borrowing. Like Pocahontas, his legacy grows beyond facts. His reputation soared after death, but he was one of many skilled dramatists. Legends often overshadow facts, shaping how historical figures are remembered. By separating myth from reality, a more accurate and often more interesting picture emerges. If this video helped clarify what really happened, leave a comment with your thoughts and subscribe for more truth behind the myths.